All right, welcome back. So let's talk about Mohbad's father. There's a video here, I guess on Channels TV. So I'm gonna play it, and then we'll talk for a quick second. Let's use it as a warm up, shall we? Let's use this video as a warm up before we get into the rest of the story for today, because we need to finish on time today. Okay. All right, Mohbad's father. That's not him. Well, that's him in the actual video, but yeah, that's him right there. So we're going to talk about this really quickly, and I'll be right back so we can chat about it. Let's get to it.
It's been months, and the body of Mohbad is still lying cold in a morgue somewhere in Lagos. Now I have the opportunity of having an interview with the father, and I'm going to ask him, why is it taking so long for Mohbad to be buried?
My reason is this. You know, Mohbad have already been buried by me with the arrangement. They have to exhume him for some reasons. And the reason is to know exactly what came on. And since all these days now, we are still be expecting the result to come out, which is necessary before we can even make any attempt of burying. So we need the DNA and the autopsy. It's very, very important. So those are the things that is delaying. After those ones, we can make moves.
Okay, sir. I'm sure you know that DNA...
He needs the DNA and the autopsy. Did he say DNA first or autopsy? It doesn't matter, but I'm just wondering. I'm just curious. Did he say DNA first or autopsy? Anyway, let's continue.
It won't come from police. It has to come from the family.
The DNA, yeah. But we family, we need that DNA with some reason. Because when the...
He said we family. He didn't say himself. He said we family. We need we. When he says we, let's just say that means Baba Mohbad. You know, remember? I don't know if you are aware. Did you guys know that he released an album? He released a musical album. He did. Yeah, I saw it was on Twitter. He released an album. You know. Let me say, Chinya says the police already provided the verdict based on the autopsy. Do they have autopsy results yet? When? Today? Has this happened in the last few hours? Because I don't think they have it yet. If he wants DNA, he wants to provide the money for her to do DNA. Simple. Well, before we even get into all of that, does he even have the right to request a DNA? Right? Does he have the legal right to request a DNA of another man's child? Oh no, we're gonna get real now. This is the part where Nigerians are not very aware. Let's get real for a second. This is the real world, not our sentiments, not our cultural sentiments now, right? Does he have the right to demand for the DNA of another man's child? This is what's wrong with y'all. This is what's wrong with you Western people. Try to apply Western. No. We're talking about the real world now. Forget Western or Eastern world, right? Does he have the right, the legal right, to ask for another man's child's DNA? Does he have any bigger rights than very dark man would have in terms of rights to request for the DNA of that child? I'm asking, answer me. Maybe he does, you know. Maybe he does. Answer me now. The wife already made himself available and stated that she would do the DNA and is waiting for them to provide the funds. Right, I remember she said something like that. But I'm just curious right now. Does she even... Do you think she will allow it if it comes down to it now? I'm wondering. She said, Ola, maybe I misspoke. I remember that you did a show on the police verdicts based on the result, and it's a memory serving me wrong. I'm not sure they have. Maybe my memory is serving me wrong too, but I don't think they have the results from the autopsy yet. No. I think there was some kind of hearing, but you know. So I think she already said she would allow it, that they should just bring the money, right? But does he even have the right? Because I'm hearing entitlement. But you know, I know what Nigerians are going to say. Let's keep going.
Liam was born. I don't know the person they carried the placenta gift to. Because immediately when they bought Liam, my son called me. When he called me and I responded, I even wanted to come and meet him. And he was just calling me that, Daddy, it's no need again. I was so surprised. And this kind of something has been happening since. I could remember when he bought a land and that land was hanging with his mother-in-law. So the same thing happened concerning that placenta. He said that he no need again. They have arranged for those who is going to bury that. Okay, I had to quite. I don't say anything since then, but I was so surprised when the wife was even mentioning it. That is why I've now recollect my sense that really, who is handle the placenta?
You're wanting placenta.
Yeah.
And Mohbad was alive when they took the placenta.
Yeah.
Why do you think, what does the tradition, what's Yoruba tradition talk?
Concerning that, we family of the man supposed to be the one to take care of that. But I was so surprised when that was taken away from me. So
take away from me. Who's going to tell this Baba right now? Who's going to tell him? Jesus Christ. Before I continue that video, there's a comment here from I Am Buzor. It says, if Nigerians want the DNA test to be done and money is the problem, now for this Instagram we go raise the money under 24 hours. In Yoruba culture and some part of Igbo culture, is the family of the husband that handles the burying of the newborn baby's placenta, except the baby is born abroad. Who took the placenta and why? You can see why this man is demanding for DNA. Okay, now there is who took the placenta, a question that probably would never be answered. There is also, you know, there's also what did he say? He said you can see why this man is. There's also if he has does he have the right to be demanding for DNA? Those are two different topics. Does he have the right to demand for a DNA? Does he have any bigger rights than very dark man? Does like who took the placenta? Is that a valid question? Yes. Particularly because even the son kind of like was going to offer it, you know, because it's part of the culture. They said not just Nigerian culture, by the way. I'm actually reading something right here on NIH.gov, which is an American government agency platform. It says the three placenta rituals presented in this article are placenta burial, placentophagy, eating and consuming the placenta, and lotus birth, leaving the umbilical cord attached until it dries and comes away from the baby naturally. I think they do that in Nigeria too, right? So they do that overseas. I guess it's a cultural thing in different places around the world. So there's nothing special about that. But we're talking about this man passed away, okay? And when he was alive, this was not a demand, right? Because if it was a demand, he was your son. You could literally ask him and say, hey, I don't trust you. Where's the placenta? No. Where did the placenta go? Right? Because now they're suggesting that maybe another man had the placenta. What's the likelihood of that? None. Almost none. Okay? But let's continue. Let's continue here. I'm just reading this comment. This person said, now you can see why this man is demanding for DNA. Sometimes we say, I beg, leave culture, but this one of the repercussions. Did Imole handle the placenta himself? If not, who did and why? These are all valid questions. Are you ever going to get answers to those questions? No. Are the judicial system going to entertain this question? Probably not. Okay, probably not, unless it becomes a point of they're dragging properties. There's some valid level of property dragging somewhere. I doubt it, you know, but I could be wrong. I'm just saying. But these are the realities you need to face, not your cultural sentiments. Your cultural sentiments are good just only as far as they get. Yeah. Let's see here. He continues. If not, who did? Okay, this man messed up in the beginning by burying Imole so fast. And with how this case is going, we can see the man was probably under pressure or threat. This man energized Imole's bullies the day he was praying for who was bullying his son. I don't even want to go there again because I don't know why I should be afraid to protect my son. If you like, be the Anini or Otokoto. What is that? Otokoto me. And you go you go they meet for different native doctors house. If you get money past me, I go try juju, but I must make you feel the danger to ever near my son again. I go walk out till I see devil face to face them. I go offer my body parts to him in exchange to protect my son and make sure that bully keeps running helter-skelter for this spiritual protection. Unless, of course, money is involved or greed is involved. Or, like you were talking about, the fear, right? Let me continue the video, then I'll come to the chat.
But then, I didn't value it as something bigger. But it was now later that I realized that there must be something behind this. So that is what the spirit in me now said, there is something behind the placenta.
Okay,
because,
so you are still insisting that...
Yes, I want to know the person they give the placenta to. That is why I need it.
So the assumption that the placenta was given to somebody and not buried somewhere, maybe by the father, maybe by, like, I get tricked, maybe. There's another person here that says they're supposed to do DNA to also find out if this man really born Mohbad away.
DNA and the autopsy to be out before we can do the burial.
Okay. So no matter how long it takes.
Yes, I will stand until we get the result from them. If we are not satisfied with the result, I'm sure the whole world, they are looking at us now. They will support me in taking the body and to find the real results. So we are going to do the private test for him. That's it.
So she is like, I got this chat all by myself. I got this. She said he doesn't have any right to the placenta before he will use it and do some rituals to take the child's glory. Jesus Christ. The Mohbad did not address the placenta. He probably did, but he's not listening. Like, okay, it's gone now. So Otokoto, another high-profile criminal like Anini. Oh, okay, that's why they say Anini. Okay. Which spirits? Hold on 1 second. Let me disconnect that. Which spirit in you? If I get ish with my in-laws, I ain't releasing shit. Oh, there you go. There we have it. This brainless man irks the crap out of me. Jesus. Natu and you. Okay, I'm starting to see Natu now. Yeah. Also, this culture shit is for the poor man. When my cousin was going to marry David Mark's daughter, he did not take her to any relative's house. His dad said it is not necessary. Yes, they only think it's necessary when it fits the narrative, right? How many cultural stuff have we disconnected from over decades, centuries, just because it doesn't fit the narrative we're trying to push, right? But when it kind of fit, then we start to fight for it, But what's going on, my brother? Is that you, CBN Talk, Tech Talk? Is that you? Long time, man. How you been, man? Good to see you. Anyway, so we're talking about Mohbad, who passed away. He was an artist. It's a big guy in every right, at least by way of brand. But it was upcoming, and his life got cut short unexpectedly in September, and a lot of people were rallying up and trying to see if they can find justice, because there were history over the past 2 years of him being bullied by his label boss, directly or indirectly through another thug guy. The label boss was Naira Marley. The thug guy was Sam Larry. They were arrested. They've been released since then. There's still quote-unquote investigations going on. The father, who you're looking at right now, literally ordered for him to be buried in less than 24 hours. But the government, after the uproar of the public, the government made an order to go exhume the body. The body is still sitting in the cold since then, and they are doing autopsy and all kind of stuff to investigate. That's the last thing we know. All right. So that's Mohbad's dad. There's another video here. I'm not
months,
sure
and the body
if
of
this one is longer.
Mohbad
Let
is
me
still
just
lying cold in a morgue
play one more
somewhere
time.
in Lagos. Now I have the opportunity of having an interview with the father, and I'm going to ask him, why is it taking so long for Mohbad to be buried?
My reason is this. You know, Mohbad have already been buried by me with the arrangement. They have to exhume him for some reasons. And the reason is to know exactly what came on. And since all these days now, we are still be expecting the results to come out.
So that's today. So he said we are still expecting the results,
which is necessary before we can even make any attempt of burying. So we need the DNA and the autopsy. It's very, very important. So those are the things that is delaying. After those ones, we can make move.
Okay, sir. I'm sure you know that DNA won't come from police. It won't come. It has to come from the family.
The DNA, yeah.
You know why it won't come for the police? Because the police, they don't have any interest in the DNA or the paternity relationship between Mohbad and his 5-month-old son. Okay? They don't care. They don't care. All right. Oh yeah, we have a new member. Yes TV, we have a new sponsor. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, that is a big deal. Do you know how long I've been looking for a new sponsor for the show? Oh my god. Oh my god. I've lost my voice suddenly. Thank you so much, Yes TV. I appreciate you. All right, that's a big deal. It goes a long way. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm gonna continue to play the video.
But we family, we need that DNA with some reason, because when Liam was born, I don't know the person they carried the placenta gift to, because immediately when they born Liam, my son called me. When he called me and I respond, I even wanted to come and meet him, and he was just calling me that, Daddy, it's no need again. I was so surprised, and this kind of something had been happening since. I could remember when he bought a land, and that land was hanging with his mother-in-law. So the same thing happened concerning that placenta. He said that he no need again. They have arranged.
So he's still very salty about the whole land saga. There was some kind of land. The land that Mohbad was allegedly buried on in Ikorodu was purchased by Mohbad, and there was some kind of tussle back and forth on who should be in control of the land. Last minute, just before he passed away, I guess he gave the access to the land to his father after he insisted that, why is it with your mother-in-law? I think the mother-in-law was the one who helped him to buy the land in the first place, you know. So that's what this man is still talking about more than 3 months after the passing of his child. It's not looking good.
Or those who is going to bury that. Okay.
Thank you, Yes TV.
I don't say anything since then, but I was so surprised when the wife was even mentioned it. That is why I've now recollected my sense that really
he finally collected his sense.
The placenta.
You're wanting placenta.
Yeah.
And Mohbad was alive.
No, it was very dark man that woke up his consciousness to the placenta issue, and this is just another opportunity for this man to drag the legacy of his son in the mud. Unfortunately, there are there are better ways to handle all of this, and I'm not going to blame it on lack of education. This man is just not enlightened at all in any level. I'm not talking about Oyibo people's education. I'm not talking about going to school, none of that, okay? Because we all have grandparents that didn't necessarily go to school, and they will never behave this way, okay? So we can't blame this on Oyibo people's Kenny, you know, and that's what it is, you know. But let's see. Lot to say now, when DNA tell him say no be him be Mohbad Baba, now that time him eye go clear. Yeah, because if he has the right to ask for a DNA of another man's child, yes, your son becomes another man in the grand scheme of things. Okay, it's not like the courts will never recognize that you have a biological relationship with a person, but outside of somebody give birth to you or you give birth to another person, you can't go further than those one layers. That's how it works. Now, the at a civil level, right? They do recognize a lot of relationships like that, but when it comes down to the state helping you to enforce, you don't have any rights. There's zero rights, and I don't think anybody else is talking about that, But we shall see. I'm looking at some. Let me look at some of this comment on the actual post. Somebody said, "Why did you bury him so fast without thinking about DNA and autopsy test?" That question, if we need to answer all the other questions that everybody else is asking, right? What happened to the placenta? Who did they give the placenta to? Why and why? If we need to answer all those questions, then we must answer these other questions too. Why did you bury him so fast without thinking about the DNA and autopsy? In fact, we must drag this question in court. Somebody said, "I know come understand wetin concern this man and placenta." I'm sure somebody will reply and say, "Culture, our culture. Our culture now." Somebody said, "This man is not happy that Mohbad left a child behind. In fact, he doesn't even care about Liam. Liam is Mohbad's son, his grandchild. He's questioning the paternity of his own grandchild." That's what we're dealing with. He did not question the paternity of his grandchild when his son was alive. His son was alive for 5 months of that baby's life. He did not question it. He's asking for that now. I just want you to process it properly. If you process it, you say, "Yeah, he has the right." Okay, good. You have the right too. "I rebuked this man as a father for my enemy." Jesus Christ. Someone said, "But why is it so hard for the wife to do DNA too? It's making it look suspicious. She already said she's ready, and she's just not going to pay for it." How about that? All right, so we still have a lot of lame people around the internet asking this question. But by the way, she doesn't owe him anything. She does not have to allow him near his child, her child at all. If that's what takes, then make she serve no do and make him poor boy rest in peace. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's BS. Interviewer. So no matter how long it is, interviewer is asking. Okay, this person is simulating a conversation. Say, interviewer. So no matter how long it is, Mohbad's dad said, "Yes, I will stand until I get the result from them. If we were not satisfied with the result, the whole world will support me to find out the real result." Did you hear that part in the interview?
Like when they took the placenta. Why do you think? What does the tradition? Within Yoruba tradition talk?
Concerning that, we family of the man supposed to be the one to take care of that, but I was so surprised when that was taken away from me. So, but then I didn't value it as something bigger. But it was now later that I realized that there must be something behind this. So that is what the spirit in me now said. There is something behind it.
This is what somebody was talking about when they said this. What spirit? He said it's spirit in me. This man is a pastor. Don't forget about that, by the way. He's a pastor too. Yeah. Now that land they pay now. That's awesome. Baba is not wise. Thank you so much. Yes, TV again. Me, I can thank you forever. Don't mind me. Anyway, Baba is not wise. Him no get sense. I wonder if he doesn't have family member that can advise him. He probably won't listen. This man has coconut head. You can't tell yet. And she shouldn't pay for it at all. Yeah, she. I think DNA is probably expensive in Nigeria. It's probably too expensive for someone to just say, "Mabino, I will just pay for it." I think, yeah. I have no idea, but yeah. He's after his son's property. I doubt even if Mohbad left anything significant, honestly. I doubt that. He probably had a bunch of liquid cash laying around because he was trying to do the big boy packaging thing, trying to blow. All that money is probably gone. Ouch. Yeah. All that money is probably gone. This shows me that fools become older and become fools. This looks so effing bad. There are many people that walk around like this. And sometimes you'll never know until they find themselves in crisis. And the issue is that they don't know how to handle crisis. They're not prepared to handle crisis. They're not prepared to handle conflict. That's what you're seeing here. Someone said, "Keep him is your son." That means Liam is your son. You have to keep him. So I was a man low-key running his future. When you rush bury your son, you don't think of DNA. Okay, so that's that one right there. Let me go to the one on Linda AKG. I think some of the comments here. Let me see some other ones. They suppose do DNA to also find out if not this man really born Mohbad. Okay, I already read that already. So why burying him at first? So people are asking the same question here. Somebody said, what do you want carry placenta do? I'm sure about 77 other people will educate this person on that. Maybe about 50. Like, placenta is our culture. That is what is wrong with you all. You want to cast away our culture and talk about all this nonsense about, everybody should just rest, okay? He passed away. Like, the only thing anybody should be protecting right now is his legacy. That's it. This drama is completely unnecessary, especially in the middle of still investigating what actually created or what caused his death, right? It's just terrible. It's bad. One of the hardest things for human beings to do is to let go. I always say that, right? Yeah, this is an example of it. Why should you let go? Because sometimes you have to let go for your own happiness, peace of mind, for the betterment of everything else at a larger, overall, what's the word I'm looking for? When you put it Jensen, right? In the grand scheme of things, sometimes you have to let go, and letting go sometimes is what you need to do to attract what you actually want, right? But when you try to force the universe into what it's not, this Baba will still collect. Trust me. Just wait for it. I always say wait for it, right? Yeah, we're going to hear now. The father of the child buries placenta, sir. You are the grandfather. Okay, so that is a good question. Does the father bury the placenta or the grandfather? Because honestly, I don't know, right? Let's ask somebody. Does the father of the child bury placenta or grandfather? If you know in the chat, please let me know. Jesus Christ. The responsibility for burying the placenta varies by culture and family. In some cultures, an important family member, such as the father, grandmother, or a post-menopausal woman, is responsible for the ritual. So there's no definitive answer. That's another angle. Okay. I don't know why Wumi is so scared of doing DNA. This is why all women should learn from this. I bet many people will answer that question. I'm not going to waste my time on that again. But there you have it. This is some weird move on this guy's part. I have no idea. It's sad that this man doesn't see how bad this makes him look. No, he probably doesn't even pay attention to social media like that. He probably just says, all of y'all gonna be alright. Everybody go be alright, but we must know. That's probably what he's saying. Right? This shows me that fools become... Okay, I already read that. Let's leave this story alone. Let's get on to some of the real stories that we have today. But we're gonna keep covering any Mohbad story until everything comes to light. Even if there were any... This guy is going to take over the whole story and it's going to get dragged. That's probably what's going to happen. And they'll probably never find any answer because already he's distracting from the actual answer that people wanted, which is to find out what happened to that young man to 2 years leading to his death. That's what people wanted to know. But the story has become something else because they claim that the DNA, the paternity could have been the reason why they wanted to take him out. That's part of the questions that need to get answered. Okay, we shall see. Chia says there's an ego adage that says, yeah, don't do me like that. Meaning, an unexpected event challenges a strong man. Yes, but this unexpected event proves that the man is a strong man. Yep, that's precisely. Crisis, conflict is how you know who is strong and who is not strong. Outside of that, most people are just, they're not prepared because most people assume that everything will be all right every day of the week. So when things happen, they're never prepared for it. All right. With that being said, do me a favor. What are your thoughts about this? Let me know what you think about this. Should this man rest? Do you think he has a valid quest to know the paternity of his grandchild? Does he have the right or not? I want to know what your thoughts are. With that being said, I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.